Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, we're going to be talking about something that I don't really talk about too often and kind of shifting focus from what I usually do, which is just be a React Andy all the time. Now, if you're new to this channel, you're probably going to be way less confused than anyone who is a returning subscriber. However, today I wanted to talk about something that is extremely important to me, and that is not going outside. So, on a serious note, I'm actually a computer science student, and some of you might know this, and I'm in my third year, going into my last year, and hopefully getting out of here within the next year or so. I have my own thoughts about, standardized education and whatnot, but basically, because my parents wanted me to become a doctor, and I said no, they told me that I had to go to school, otherwise they'd disown me. So here I am, studying computer science. It wasn't always that simple, cut and dry. I actually started out studying mechanical engineering and then moving to industrial engineering before switching schools altogether and studying finance. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. And then I eventually just got into this cycle of, wow, this sucks. I really hate everything about school. And then I found computer science again. I used to program when I was younger. I taught myself around age 12 how to program in this language called Lua, which funnily enough years later got me a job as a front-end developer. Anyways, I kind of reignited my love of coding and decided to pursue computer science. And the first couple of courses you take in computer science, of course, are programming courses. However, I'll get into this in a moment. That's not what computer science is. I recently did a video outlining a bot that I built using Python that traded stocks for me, and it made $2,500 in its first week, which was pretty epic. Now, if you haven't seen that video, links in the description. Now, before I get into what I really want to talk about today and kind of set up for the future, we got to address the elephant in the room. It's the age-old question of what programming language is good? What's the best? What's useful? What's hot? I could sit here and tell you all about these languages, but I'm not going to. There are so many channels that already do that. Maybe I won't be lazy and post and populate some right here. I just wanted to briefly skim over them because I will be frequently talking about them. I thought that I'd do this in a way that maybe people who aren't really familiar with computer science and programming might understand it, because I really like reasoning by analogy. I really like creating analogies, and I've done that a lot for people in the past to help them understand concepts. And I think that this is not one of my better analogies, but certainly would help, I think. Firstly, my favorite language is Python, specifically Python 3. If you're using Python 2.7, I'm going to describe all of these languages as like high school caricatures. Like 2000s high school caricatures. I think that'll really just sell the point. So Python is like that hot girl that just got to your school. She's super new, super fresh. She's got a fat ass library. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, she's a bit slow, but like it's made up for it. I mean, she's hot. Her library is huge, and I mean, just an endless world of possibilities. Java is that dude who gets around and is extremely popular with the Indian guy. There's C++, which is the guy who gets friend zoned by the new hot girl. He basically does all the work for her and like makes her seem super cool and just does everything for her without getting anything in return. That's just C++. No big deal. We all know that guy. And then you have C. C is just the person that C++ hangs out with because their moms are friends, It's like that kind of deal. And then last but not least in this family, you have C#, which is just Java's incestuous brother. Nothing to see here. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, these are those three weird kids that everyone knows about, but no one really talks to. But together, somehow they're able to accomplish like a lot of things, and they're able to do a lot, and no one really knows how or why. However, if you split them up, each one individually can't do shit. How can you forget about assembly? Assembly is that 40-year-old who's still in high school. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, I'm about a year out from graduation, and I've already started looking for, places to move, potential jobs that I could fall into in my couple of years out of college, and I've realized that I'm severely underqualified for everything. There's a bit of a disconnect between the skills that are required in your first couple of years of working as a software developer versus what you're taught in college. And this isn't necessarily a topic I want to get into today, because I personally think that standardized American education is extremely broken. And that's not to say that, computer science is supposed to teach you software development. It's not, right? So computer science is a way to teach you how to problem solve. It is not a way to teach you how to code, right? Coding is just a tool, and computer science is how you frame problems and think about them. Something, teach a man to fish. It's in there somewhere. But I can get into that whole, American standardized education thing in a different video. There's a few majors that I think are extremely worth studying, and they don't necessarily translate into real world skills. They more so give you the tools to acquire those skills. And some of these include computer science, of course, philosophy, maths, economics, physics, right? All of these give you a framework on how to think. They don't tell you how to think. They just give you the tools to figure it out yourself. So rather than acquiring knowledge through these, majors, these studies, you get the tools that you need to acquire knowledge. So you're not given anything directly. And I think that's invaluable. Like I said, computer science is about solving problems. And in my opinion, it's about creating problems for yourself. In realizing that I'm severely underqualified, to do what I want to do, I've decided to bridge the gap. So I do a lot of self-studying, and a lot of, what you see here on this board behind me is part of that. It's a problem that I just worked on yesterday. The Python trade bot was something that I'm super interested in finance, but don't want to study it because I think it's useless. And I wanted to make something that could trade stocks for me. So I did. In conjunction with that project, I want to be able to learn how to manage databases and do back-end development. So I'm using a Python framework called Django to build out a backend for my trade bot. And then what I'm going to do is I've already bought the domain and set up the web server, and I'm going to connect that to a front end so I can get some front end development, so I can get an overall full stack development project done, where you guys will be able to log in and view various data about what projects I'm working on, and be able to actually see things develop in real time. This serves two purposes. If you guys are interested in what I'm doing, you guys can keep track of it with a website. Log in, awesome. And for me, it gives me really good experience in actually managing a real-time environment. Next few videos that I can get out will be around this topic, and I'm pretty excited to make videos about this. Yeah, I don't really know what this video was. I kind of just ranted and talked about my life. I really want to do more videos on the projects that I'm doing, and I want to kind of build out projects and do projects that I can make videos about. So expect videos like that. And then I would also like to make some videos just describing topics that I find interesting, maybe computer science topics, just kind of describe them by analogy or kind of frame them in a funny way so that people can learn about them. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just know that, through making multiple videos and actually uploading more often, I've been able to kind of hone in on what I want to really do. Thank you for watching, and consider subscribing if you enjoy the content or excited about what's to come. And let me know in the comments, what's your favorite language?